Hey, Ryan Dice here from drivingtraffic.com, and I want to show you a new type of squeeze page that I've been testing that I think is pretty cool. So what you can see here is a web page that I've created. This is one of my websites, and it is a metabolism calculator. So it's a calculator. You can see here on the right-hand side. Scroll down just a little bit. You enter in your, whether you're male or female, your weight, height in inches, age, and body fat. If you know it, click the button, and it gives you an approximation of what your resting metabolic rate is. Now, if you don't know what resting metabolic rate is or anything like that, don't worry. I mean, this is something that resonates very well with the market. And despite the fact that I will admit the copy on this page is a little weak, just to give you my take on it, the headline's awkward. You got this headline competing with this headline. This font is kind of ugly. I mean, basically what you're seeing here is the first iteration of this site that I just gave some copy to a designer. They created it for me. I didn't want to wait to start testing it, so I went ahead and started testing it. But we do need to tweak the copy a little bit. But even despite kind of the weak copy, it's still working really, really well. And when you look at this, you may be like, Ryan, there's one big thing missing if this is a squeeze page. Where are you getting their email address? And see, I'm a big believer. A lot of people now, the whole concept of a squeeze page, it's become synonymous with collecting an email address. But really, there's all kinds of things you can squeeze. You can squeeze some basic information from people. You can squeeze their name. You can certainly squeeze an email address. But there's all kinds of things. The notion of a squeeze page is we're just trying to squeeze some information that's going to help us sell them something a little bit later on. So in this case, what we're doing is we're squeezing information. And what I love about calculators is they have they're an involvement device, right? So people want to enter them, and let's say the weight. Let's say you're a female, and your weight is, let's say your weight's 140, and height in inches. Let's say you're 5'6" or 5. Let's say you're 5'4". So then you'd be 64 inches. Age. Let's say you are. Let's say you're 41, and body fat. We'll say 27. Whoops. We'll say 27%. Pushing all kinds of crazy buttons here. So, do the calculator, and as you can see here, it says your average resting metabolic rate is 1,095.4 calories per day. Again, don't worry about what that means, and don't even worry about this whole metabolism calculator concept. This is just one example, okay? You could have a calculator for any number of things. I mean, this is going to lend itself to most markets, or just, you can have people take a quiz, have people do a poll, any kind of involvement device that's going to get them through. Now, if you notice, I collected no personal information on that front page. And why did I do that? It's simple. People have gotten accustomed to having to give their name and email address. And a lot of people in a lot of markets, especially competitive markets, don't want to do that. And they especially don't want to give personal information out if they're saying things like their height and their weight and stuff like that. I mean, that's that's personal, and if somebody comes to a weight loss site, it could even be a little embarrassing. So we've removed all personal information here. I'll go back so you can see it again. We've removed all personal information from this website. We don't even ask for a first name, okay? It's all just give us your basic info. What's your resting metabolic rate? We calculate it for them. And then you can see here's where we make the offer, all right? So we've just given them something. This is sort of like the reverse squeeze page that you've seen done all over the internet, where people give a video and then they say, if you like this video, give us your name and email address for more stuff. So it's given the content on the front end. This is just done in a two-step process. Okay, so we're giving them the content, we're giving them the information they wanted. We're saying, 1,095 calories per day is your average resting metabolic rate. Gosh, that's not that good. It could be a lot better. If you'd like to, get a free report on how to get the perfect stomach and butt and lose fat in only 27 minutes a week, then just enter your name and email address. So we're giving them the information they asked for, and then we're offering a solution to the problem. Okay, and again, this font is terrible. Please, if you're gonna, kind of go after this, and I hope you do implement it, don't implement this font. My designer was smoking crack when he did that. But anyway, so now, claim your free report here, how to get the perfect stomach and butt and lose fat in only 27 minutes a week. Now, what do you think the title of this report is? What do you think this report is to begin with? If you guessed it's a sales letter, you're 110% correct. That's right. We're going to be sending them to a sales letter. And this the title of the report, How to Get the Perfect Stomach and Butt and Lose Fat in Only 27 Minutes a Week, that is actually the headline of the sales letter. Because again, I want there to be continuity from this page on to when I send them over to the sales letter. So it's simple. They enter their first name, email address. I'm not going to go through all those steps. And they are transferred to the sales letter. I've collected a lead. So you can see it's a small little tweak. It's not a really big change there. But by having it have no personal information on the front page, and just collecting some basic information, giving them something that they asked for, giving them something that's valuable, and then explaining, especially if it's something that, builds pain. This, and we don't do a good enough job of explaining it here. It's another copy element that needs to be tweaked. But, if we explain to them, gosh, 1,095 calories per day, that's really kind of low. Imagine if you could bump that up by only 300 or 400 calories per day, get your metabolism up by an extra 300 or 400 calories, you'd be able to burn even more calories without having to do a whole lot more work. And then here's a report that's going to show you how to do that. So you can see how this flows through very, very nicely. Now, the big question that I always get when people say, how do I do this? This is simpler than you think to get done. I mean, I just went on Elance and had somebody design it for me. The calculations are not difficult. I just did some research online and found out how to calculate all these different things. And again, if you're not doing a calculator where it has to do some complex calculations, if you're just doing a poll or a quiz, then you don't have to do all this stuff. I mean, it's very, very simple, but you can find somebody in Elance to code it. I think this cost me a couple $100 to do the basic programming. The design cost maybe another couple $100. So for less than $500, I've got this great lead generation mechanism that's unique to my market. If you don't want to spend the money, a buddy of mine, Evan Pagan, has a piece of software called the Psychic Sales Letter, and his basically does the same thing. They've got a little tutorial on the website here, but his basically does the same thing where it automates it. You kind of create the questions that you want to ask people, and it will incorporate their answers into the sales letter. Because, oh, that's another thing that I failed to mention. If somebody selects, I'll go back. If somebody selects female, then they see a totally different page and they get put on a completely different list than if they say male. So if they say male, they go here, and now you can see the report is how to build muscle and lose fat, okay? How to build muscle and lose fat. Why? Because that's what men care about. What do women care about? Women care about get the perfect stomach and butt and lose fat. Okay, so do you see the difference there? And that's, that's the big, sort of the big hook to all this. You can now, once you have this information, use it further down in the sales process. So I put people on two separate lists, a men's list and a women's list, because I want to be able to talk to them differently, okay? And that's what Eben software allows you to do. It doesn't do everything that, it doesn't do calculations for you and stuff like that, but if you want to test this in your own business, this is a great little tool to use. It is 100% free. And you can, I will include the download link below this email. So I highly, highly, highly suggest you check it out. And it's very, very cool that Evan's giving away this piece of software. I mean, yes, it's in conjunction with the launch and all that good stuff. And yes, if you click the link below, it will be my affiliate link. But, you got to love all this move the free line stuff that people do with these launches, because there really are, and Evan took the cake on this one, they really are giving away a lot of very, very, very cool stuff for free, just to basically prove to you, kind of like I'm doing here right now, hey, I know what I'm talking about. I'm worth listening to. So here's a ton of free stuff, and then hopefully you'll buy it. So, no real catch. It's not like it's, this sort of software that's going to expire on you, or it's going to pop up stuff that basically says, give Evan money, or, this box is going to annoy you until you uninstall the software. There's nothing like that. It is a great application. I have used it, and I highly suggest you check it out. So, yeah, give it a look-see. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you implement it in your own business.